Guys, what is going on? I hope you guys are well. So guys, I want to get straight into it. No trolling about the hair. I'm gonna get my hair cut tomorrow. Obviously, I'm in a bit of a state right now. So yeah, no trolling about the hair. I had some hair comments previously that I need the barber and stuff. Yeah, I know that. I'm gonna get it done. But yeah, let's get straight into this. I want to do some couple of fantasy fights. I love breaking these down. Mr. Carl the Cobra Froch v. Gennady Golovkin. Right? If Golovkin had moved up to 168, which he's never done in his career, he's always stayed at middleweight. How do I think that fight would have gone? Let's break down the two fighters first. Carl Froch first. Carl Froch, warrior, granite chin, tough man, could punch. Great fitness, great stamina, endurance, will, desire, heart, determination. Not the most skillful guy in the world, not the most skilled guy in the world. Not the greatest defense, he got hit a lot. But a very good chin. Like I said, great fitness, stamina, the will to win, the desire, heart, warrior. He was a warrior, no doubt about it. Golovkin, you can say the same. Golovkin, warrior, heart, desire to win, hungry, wants to win. Every fight that he's involved, that will to win. Golovkin had that. Also, Golovkin had better skills than Froch. I felt like he had better punch variety. He had more tools in the box. A very big puncher. A very, very big puncher at middleweight, though. A huge puncher. A more skilled boxer than Froch. He was more skilled. A granite chin, also. Unbelievable chin Golovkin had. I feel like Golovkin overall was the better boxer out of the two. However, Froch had his advantages. The fact that he was the bigger man, he was taller, he had the longer reach, and I think those would have been Froch's advantages because I think Golovkin was tough. Golovkin had a great chin like Froch. Golovkin had everything Froch had, probably a bigger pound for pound puncher. I think he would have been a bigger puncher also than Froch. Even at super middleweight, by the way, I think he could have really hurt Froch. Because of the fact that he was a big bomber, and we saw Groves hurt. Froch bent down a few times in his career. It's not like the guy couldn't be dropped, but Froch had great recovery powers, and he definitely had a great chin, no doubt about it. Froch had one of the best chins in the business, but just like Golovkin. How do you see this fight playing out? Give your breakdown on how you see this one playing out.
It's just a tough one. They both got good chins. They both got good work rate. They're pretty similar fighters in my eyes. It's a very, very tough fight. They both fought really good fighters, but I would definitely probably pick Golovkin in that one. I think Golovkin. It's a tough fight. Don't get me wrong. It wouldn't be an easy night's work for Golovkin, yeah. But it would be a really, really tough fight. But I would favor Golovkin, because I think if someone like George Groves, can put him on his back, I definitely think Golovkin can put him on his back. And also with Golovkin, he's got mean body shots as well.
What I will say is that I think with as Froch was defensively not great. He was very poor. The reason why he got away with it because he had a granite chin. I do think if he had fought elite punchers in around those weight classes, whether he went up to 175 or even someone like Golovkin moving up, I think those flaws that Froch had would have been exposed big time. Also, I think Golovkin, I know you said that Golovkin was similar to Froch. I disagree. I think Golovkin was Golovkin was a very good pressure fighter. Obviously, Froch would have been bigger, so Golovkin would have had to been wary because Froch would have been a bigger man. He could punch, but Golovkin had a very, very good chin, and I don't think Froch's power was pound for pound where he was going to be troubling someone like Golovkin, who had a very, very good chin, very good chin. However, I think Golovkin's punch power would affect Carl Froch. Even though I think Froch has got a granite chin, you have to realize who he fought. right? A lot of the guys that he fought, who did he really fight that was a huge puncher like that? And I know Golovkin was a smaller man and middleweight, but I always felt if Carl Froch went up to light heavyweight and fought a Kovalev, I felt Kovalev would have knocked him out. Because I felt like Kovalev was a big puncher. And if you look at Froch's career, I don't really think Froch fought a big puncher like that. Even Andre Ward wasn't a big puncher, right? Jermaine Taylor, yeah. Again, I don't think he was a huge puncher. I don't think Froch fought elite puncher. What I mean by that is that they can all punch at world-class level, but when I mean elite punch, I'm talking like Julian Jackson, Gennady Golovkin, Kovalev. You know, guys like that could really bang, really punch. I don't think Froch really fought anybody like that, if I'm honest. Maybe I'm missing somebody out in his race. I don't think he did, though. I don't think he fought an elite puncher like that. And I think with the flaws that Carl Froch had, that's why I don't think Carl Froch moved up to light heavyweight to fight a Stevenson or a Kovalev, because I don't feel that Froch believed in his defense. And yeah, your chin could get away with the guys around your size or your weight class, and the guys in around that weight class weren't huge punchers. Golovkin had a lot about him. Golovkin wasn't just a huge puncher; he was a very good boxer, which a lot of people don't give him credit for. Olympic silver medalist, and for me, he had more punch variety than Carl Froch. He had the better boxing skills. I feel he would put his punches together a lot better than Froch. Froch had all determination, heart, warrior, granite chin. He had all of that. But what Froch lacked was boxing skill. His defense wasn't that great. And that's why Froch did so well in his career, because even though he didn't have those things, he still managed to achieve so much. But against someone like Golovkin, who's got what he's got, but has got the better boxing skills, the only real thing Froch would have over him is size. And that's why I don't think he went up to light heavyweight, even though I think a fight between him and Kovalev would have been a big fight. He didn't move up to light heavyweight because he knew deep down his skill set wouldn't be able to compete, because now we would be fighting a big puncher who's bigger than him and a better boxer than him. See, with Golovkin, right? Golovkin was I don't think Froch fancied that fight anyway. I don't think Froch really fancied the Golovkin fight. I think he tried to swerve it, even though when they was talking about him coming back after Groves, I think he wanted a fight, but I think there was something in him that didn't want to lose. Because, you know, Golovkin was willing to come up to 168 to fight him, but then Froch was moving the goalpost saying 172. Froch didn't want to fight Golovkin. And I think it's good he didn't, because I think Golovkin would have beat him. And a lot of people will probably disagree here. I think Golovkin would have stopped him late, if I'm honest with you. Because I don't think, like I said to you, Carl Froch never fought anyone that was a puncher like that. You know, he didn't go up to light heavyweight. And the reason why he didn't go up to light heavyweight, in my opinion, even though he could have, his body frame could have easily filled up into light heavyweight, is because he didn't want to fight those big punches at light heavyweight. And he knew his weaknesses, which was his defense, where he used to get hit a lot and he used to get away with it because of his chin. He wouldn't get away with it at the higher weight classes. That's why Froch stayed at super middleweight. I believe Golovkin would have stopped him late because of those reasons. I think he was the better boxer. I think he put his punches together a lot better. I think although Golovkin also got hit a lot, I think Golovkin fundamentally was a better boxer than Froch. And I think that would have showed. Do you agree?
Yeah, I don't think... yeah, you're right. Obviously, he's a silver medalist at the end of the day, so we know his pedigree is going to be, you know, on the highest level. I wouldn't be surprised if he was to stop Froch, to be honest, because, you know, Golovkin he's a different animal. Like, we seen Groves give him, 100% Groves in the first fight give him hell, and Golovkin's 10 times better than, well, not 10 times, but at least 2-3 times better than someone like George Groves. Let's be honest. So if someone like that's going to give you trouble, someone that's going to pressure you all night like a Golovkin being in your face, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he was to get stopped late because of that constant pressure. And I think he would. Although, yeah, Carl Froch is a lot bigger, I still think he would have walked Froch down. I don't think he would have had respect. I don't think Carl Froch had that bang where he would have felt that, all right, I can't walk this guy down, I can't pressure him.
I think Carl Froch could punch, but when you look at his career, who did he really like? You know, he stopped Groves, but Groves was always a little bit chinny, and not just chinny, but his stamina issues as well. Yeah, he was very big at the weight. Bute was quite an unknown commodity. You know, that win after years after looked better because, you know, Bute had good fights with Jack and DeGale. Also, who else? I would say, yeah, I don't think Froch was pound for pound a great. See, a lot of the guys that he dropped or hurt, a lot of them either had stamina issues, like Jermaine Taylor, who stopped in the last round, with stamina issues. Golovkin didn't really have stamina issues, and his chin was granite. So I just don't see, like, listen, anything can happen in a fight, but I just think Golovkin would have had too much for him, because, like I said, I think all the qualities that Froch had, I think Golovkin had, and I think Golovkin had a lot more. He had a lot more tools. He's a better boxer, and I think he had the better punch variety. He put his punches together a lot better. And I just think he was the better boxer. The only thing Froch had over him is size, but I think Golovkin would have been able to get over that. I think Golovkin would have work around it. Now, I know Froch says that I did this to Arthur Abraham. I schooled him. Arthur Abraham's not Golovkin, so you can't compare Arthur Abraham to Golovkin. It's just stupid to compare. Arthur Abraham. So, see, like Froch said, I would beat Golovkin and Canelo because look what I did to Arthur Abraham. Arthur Abraham's not even in like, those guys are 3-4 levels above Arthur Abraham. So you can't really use that as a, measuring stick and saying, look what I did to them, because that guy Abraham wasn't that great, and Golovkin and Canelo were great. So, like I said, I think the fact that Froch didn't move up to 175 to fight Kovalev tells you all you need to know. I like Carl Froch. He's a good fighter and he's a warrior. You got no doubt about it. But I just think that someone like Golovkin, who was a very good boxer, who punched very hard, I think would have stopped Froch late. And I know Froch says I don't really think he fought a puncher like that. Who did he fight? He didn't fight. It's like, fair enough if he fought someone like Kovalev and you could say, well, I went 12 rounds with Kovalev. Who did really Carl Froch fight that you can say that was a really, really big puncher? Really, really big puncher. It's like, I don't see anyone on his resume at world level that I look at and I think, wow, he's a big, big puncher. It's like, a lot of people say Amir Khan had a glass chin, right? Which is, you could say, yeah, he didn't have the greatest chin. However, he fought a pound for pound bigger puncher and went and beat him in Maidana. I don't think Froch had anyone on his resume that could punch like Maidana pound for pound. So what I'm trying to point out here is that I don't think really Froch, if you look at his career, who did he really fight that was a really big puncher? I think Froch had great recovery powers, and I don't think the super middleweight division was that great, by the way. If I'm honest with you, I think, there was Kessler and there was a few other guys that he beat, but I think the really standout fighter was Andre Ward, and Andre Ward beat them all quite comfortably, really. Beat Kessler easy, beat Froch easy. Like, I think he was a standout guy for me. So, yeah, I personally think Golovkin, and there was a lot of talk between, Golovkin and Ward to get it on, because, that would have been a super fight. I personally think I like Froch. I personally think Golovkin would have stopped Froch late. That's my opinion. But leave your thoughts. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. And guys, remember to please like, share, subscribe to my channel. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.